Welcome to a battle between rivals turned friends, Red and Blue versus Purple and Orange, Mario and Sonic versus Spyro and Crash. These duos fought with each other and against each other, but tonight they are in a 2-on-2 battle. I'm your host, AnimationRewind, joined by me is Great Julius. Without further ado, let's introduce Cartoon Fight Club's next round of fighters.
Are you sure?
Now I know what you're all thinking. There are already so many episodes that feature both Mario and Sonic on this channel, Rewind Rumble, and even the late Cartoon Fight Night. So is there really a point in giving Mario and Sonic another analysis? Well, the answer might be no, but with these two characters being arguably the most popular video games of all time, I feel like they deserve one. Besides, if you're tired of hearing the same old stuff about these two, you can always just skip ahead. I mean, no one is stopping you. Anyways, let's start off with Super Mario. Mario is an Italian star child who goes on adventures across kingdoms and even galaxies to save Princess Peach from the evil King Koopa himself, Bowser. Based on looks alone, Mario may not look very super, but the old saying goes, you should never judge a book by its cover. Mario is incredibly strong. He can easily shatter bricks and stones with just his fists alone, and can even create mini shockwaves when ground pounding. One of his most notable lifting strength feats is lifting and punting away a castle in Super Mario World. Now, as stated before, the weight of this castle is up for debate since the castle is magical, but at its lowest, it can easily weigh up to 80,000 pounds, and that's the minimum of how heavy the castle is. The weight of the castle could be thousands of times heavier. This guy is also known for his super athleticism. He can easily dive across the ground like it's nothing, wall jump effortlessly, and climb up poles with ease. While he isn't really known for his speed, he's still shown to be incredibly fast at the same time. He can easily dodge lasers and has the combat speed to keep up with magical beings like Kamek. Mario also has an assortment of power-ups that can give him a unique set of abilities. These range from the iconic Super Mushroom, Fire Flower, Ice Flower, Tanuki Leaf, Cat Bell, Elephant Fruit, Cloud Flower, Rock Mushroom, Hammer Suit, Gold Flower, and honestly, I could go on all day naming every single power-up Mario has used in the past. One aspect of Mario we haven't really touched on in the past is Cappy. Cappy is a Boneteer who travels with Mario in the game Super Mario Odyssey. Cappy gives Mario the ability to capture anything he wants, as long as it's not wearing anything on its head to protect itself. And even still, Mario can still use Cappy to knock that protection right off. Mario can use Cappy to turn into many things such as a Goomba, a frog, a bolt of electricity, and even Bowser himself. Cappy's hacks plus Mario's already incredible strength and durability really make him a force to be reckoned with. However, Mario isn't the perfect hero. While he is a great fighter overall, he can also celebrate a little prematurely. There have been many times where Mario has believed his battles have been won, when in reality, they were just merely beginning. This makes Mario easy to trick if you catch him off guard. Sonic the Hedgehog, long time no see. Wait a minute, no it hasn't. As stated in the past, Sonic has somewhat replaced a certain ketchup-loving skeleton on this channel as the poster boy for this YouTube series as a whole. Though Sonic has definitely made it home here on this channel, he will never replace Sans as the original Cartoon Fight Club poster boy. Anyways, like with Mario, you're no doubt a little tired about hearing about this blue hedgehog. But again, you're welcome to skip ahead because I'm doing an analysis anyways. Sonic the Hedgehog is coined the fastest thing alive, and for good reason. Since he doesn't wear any pants, it's a good thing he can travel faster than the eye can see. Sonic's speed also complements his fighting style, which is quick and agile, allowing him to perform many techniques such as the spin dash, homing attack, drop dash, and lightning speed dash. So just how fast is Sonic in base form? Well, this is a notoriously terrible question thanks to Sega never being able to make up their mind about how fast this hedgehog is. So to avoid all that, let's just forget what he might be able to do and instead focus on the fastest thing he's done in any of the games. And in my opinion, it comes from a statement from your boy Mecha's Comfort character. Tails states that both Sonic and Classic Sonic were fast enough to transfer matter from Limbo back to their original dimension. In order to move from one dimension to another physically, you would need to be fast enough to generate a wormhole. To escape a black hole, you would need to be faster than the speed of light, but to obtain one physically, you would need to be twice the speed of light, one for each end. And it took both Sonics moving at top speed to do this, which ultimately means Sonic's top speed in base form is the speed of light. Sonic's main shtick may be his speed, but he's also known to be quite strong too. The guy can effortlessly destroy Eggman's robots, from his base Spagnics all the way up to his most powerful mech suits. The guy can even break through solid rock with his spin dash. He's also pretty durable, but just in case he needs a little extra protection, he has some special elemental shields at his disposal. The fire shield allows him to boost through the air, the lightning shield gives him an additional jump, and the bubble shield protects Sonic from an enemy even deadlier than Dr. Eggman, water. Which brings us to weaknesses. Sonic may be fast enough to run across water, but if he ever falls into water, he would be in some serious trouble since he can't swim, and once that haunting drowning music plays, you know the blue blur is done for. Plus, he can be a little arrogant and cocky in the midst of battle, usually taking the time to taunt and annoy his opponents rather than finishing them off as quickly as possible. Okay, now it's time to talk about two characters who haven't been on this show more times than I can count on both my fingers and toes. That's right, it's Crash Bandicoot and Spyro the Dragon, and of course, we gotta start off with the Bandicoot who's master of the whoa! Crash wasn't always the guy we know him as today. He was once just an innocent animal who was captured to be used as a test monkey for Dr. Cortex's Evolvo Ray. This machine is designed to evolve ordinary animals into super sapient beings. Now that I think about it, do you think Sonic and his friends were created by the Evolvo Ray? Crash and Tawna were the first two victims of Cortex's experiment. While Crash managed to escape the evil doctor's lab, Tawna was still trapped, resulting in Crash having to go and save her. For a little Bandicoot, Crash is pretty tough and quite strong. The guy is strong enough to cause some serious damage to creatures that could easily scale the size of an elephant. Speaking of elephants, Crash is shown to be strong enough to lift the elephant's ancestor, the mammoth. Mammoths can weigh all the way up to 10,000 pounds, and Crash lifted one with ease. Crash's most iconic way of attacking his foes is by spinning. His iconic attack is known as the Cyclone Spin. This is a fast motion spinning technique which can do some serious damage to its targets. Crash's Cyclone Spin is strong enough to send his enemies flying, and he can even lift his own body weight up in the air if he spins fast enough. This Bandicoot's favorite food is the Wampa fruit, and it's more than just a tasty treat that can't be beat. It's actually another one of Crash's main means of combat. Wampa fruit has been shown to be very versatile as it's the leading source of fuel and ammunition for Crash's weaponry. This ranges from his copter pack, his droid void, and we can't forget about his iconic Wampa bazooka. It's pretty clear that this Bandicoot is a technology guy, but there is one bit of magic in his arsenal, and that's the almighty Aku Aku. Aku Aku is a magic floating mask that allows Crash to tap into temporary invincibility. By wearing Aku Aku, Crash becomes powerful enough to defeat any enemy he comes across by simply running into them, and it also improves his durability by a significant amount. Though as impressive as all this may sound, Crash does have his shortcomings. He may have a very thick skull, but inside said thick skull is a very tiny brain. He is extremely reliant on his friends for battle advice, as he's not really much of a strategist on his own. The story of Spyro the Dragon starts off in a place called Stone Hill, which is a location within the Dragon Realm. It's here that we see a bunch of dragons doing a documentary about their world, but little did they know that there was a nasty overlord eavesdropping on their documentary. But instead of ignoring these not-so-nice remarks from the other dragons like a reasonable person, this guy instead decides to silence them all with force by freezing every dragon in the realm. Well, all except for one. Can you guess who? That's right, Toothless! Okay, joking aside, the dragon that survived the Overlord's temper tantrum was actually Spyro. Thanks to Spyro's small size, he was lucky enough to not be frozen. With Spyro being the only dragon left unfrozen, it was up to him to save the others from the Overlord's wrath. Spyro is well known for being courageous, eager, headstrong, and arrogant. But he's also got a strong sense of heroism and friendliness at the same time on top of his fiery personality. I mean, what did you expect from a dragon? Spyro's main attacks consist of charging at his opponents with his horns in the front line and breathing fire on them. Spyro is so strong that he can use his horns to break through 10 meters of solid granite, which is the equivalent to around 8,000 tons of force. As for his fire breathing, well, he's not a full-grown dragon yet. He can only shoot straight arrows of fire and not a constant stream of them. But unlike most dragons, Spyro has many different types of breath attacks, ranging from water, electricity, ice, and wind. Remember when I mentioned Aku Aku back in Crash's analysis? Well, Spyro's equivalent to that would be Sparks the Dragonfly. Sparks is extremely skilled in the art of healing and protecting Spyro. Sparks can also grant Spyro short-term invincibility and durability increase. Is that starting to remind you of anyone? But then we get into Spyro's other forms, his Dark form. Dark Spyro is without a doubt Spyro's most infamous magical form. Dark Spyro has the ability to breathe dark aether, release a series of laser attacks that can move massively hypersonic speeds, and even has the ability to turn his enemies into stone. He even has a limited range of telekinesis in this form. However, Spyro is not perfect. At the end of the day, the little dragon is still very young and has a lot of growing up to do. But he is a young dragon. He can't breathe fire in a constant stream like most adult dragons. And while he can still fly, it's still not that great. So those are the characters. Now let's see which team is coming out on top in this epic fight.
And now, let's get ready for the fight. This battle will take place on Earth, and remember, there is no prep time. Let the battle begin!
Three, two, one, go!
All fired up.
All right!
Ready? Rumble!
Hopefully you enjoyed that animation, and if you did, super special thanks to Team Animation Rewind's Gabriel M. I'd also like to thank the analysis host and editor Gray Julius for helping out with this episode. Thanks and enjoy the post-analysis.
And the winners are Mario and Sonic, and this is pretty much a stomp in their favor. Spoiler alert for previous episodes, but we have covered Mario vs. Crash in a past Cartoon Fight Club, and that fight was a stomp. We've also covered Sonic vs. Crash on Cartoon Fight Night, and that was a stomp too. And finally, on Rewind Rumble, we did Crash vs. Spyro, and that fight was insanely close. So you can do the math and figure out if Crash vs. Spyro is a close fight and Crash vs. Mario and Sonic separately is a stomp. It's pretty clear cut that even with Spyro's help, neither of them stand a chance against Mario and Sonic. Mario and Sonic simply outclassed Crash and Spyro in every possible category. They are both faster, stronger, more skilled, and more experienced than Crash and Spyro combined. At their fastest, Crash and Spyro are massively hypersonic due to Spyro dodging lightning blasts and Crash being fast enough to lift his own body weight just by spinning alone. Do I even need to tell you how much faster Sonic is? Heck, even Mario has been able to outclass that speed due to escaping a black hole, which requires speeds that range up to FTL. Now Crash does have Aku Aku, which would give him some short-term invulnerability, but both Mario and Sonic also have invincibility items that would cancel this out anyway. And that's assuming that Crash is even fast enough to use Aku Aku before he speed blitz into oblivion. Spyro does have his Dragon Time abilities, which would help him out a little bit. But Dragon Time only slows down time, and even with time being slowed down, Sonic and Mario would still be fast enough to kind of negate it. Both Mario and Sonic speed blitz, both of them. They are much stronger, as well as smarter and more experienced when it comes to fighting and adventuring. Spyro is still rather young, and Crash, well, he's obviously not known for being some type of brainiac. I sadly can't think of an edge Crash and Spyro take handily. Well, if I did have to give them one advantage, I'd say they make a better team. Crash and Spyro do have experience with each other's games, and Mario and Sonic do have experience together at the Olympic Games, which is still rather debatable if those games are even considered canon. I would say that Crash and Spyro do have the teamwork edge. But does that really matter when Mario and Sonic stat stomp in every other category? Sadly, Crash and Spyro just can't win this one, making the winners of this battle Mario and Sonic.
On the next episode of Cartoon Fight Club.
In a world taken over by AI-generated brain rot so-called memes, a team of old heroes reunite to show what it really means to be a meme. The war for the great meme revival. The meme team versus brain rot. In the meme corner, we have the meme team featuring Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Shadow, CDI King, Ranranru Ronald, Ouija, Ugandan Knuckles, Spoderman, Dolan, Gooby, Over 9000 Vegeta, CDI Link, John Cena, more Krabs, and more Shoe. And in the slop corner, we have Team Brain Rot, featuring the likes of Tung 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 Sahur, Ballerina Cappuccina, Traralero Trarala, Incredible Gassy, The YN Grinch, Tim Cheese, 6'7 Kid, The 6'7 Army, Chimpanzini Bananini, The Grimace Shake Grimace, Ooh Din 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 Doon Doon Doon, Dubstep Alien, Singing Chicken Nugget, Kabi Lame Mechanism, Bombonini Gusini, and Monday Left Me Broken Cat. Memes versus Brain Rot.